The dream to reality success formula. Let me ask you something that will fundamentally change how you approach every goal, every dream, every ambition you've ever had. What if I told you that there's a specific frequency your mind can tune into that literally transforms dreams into reality, and that every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has discovered and used this exact formula? What if I told you that Walt Disney didn't just get lucky with Disneyland, that Thomas Edison didn't just stumble upon the light bulb, and that Henry Ford didn't just happen to revolutionize transportation? What if I told you they all used the same precise formula for converting imaginary visions into tangible results? Tonight, you're going to discover the dream to reality success formula, the exact process that turns the impossible into the inevitable. And once you understand this formula, you'll never again wonder why some people seem to effortlessly manifest their dreams while others remain trapped in perpetual hoping and wishing. But first, let me take you inside a secret meeting that changed the course of human achievement forever: the Colorado Springs Revelation. It was 1899, and Nikola Tesla was working in his Colorado Springs laboratory on what most people considered impossible wireless transmission of electrical energy. But Tesla wasn't just working on a scientific experiment, he was working on proof of something far more profound. That night, as Tesla sat in his laboratory surrounded by massive electrical coils and crackling energy, he had a realization that would revolutionize our understanding of how dreams become reality. He discovered what he called the materialization frequency, a specific mental state where imagined possibilities begin to take physical form. Tesla wrote in his journal, "The present moment is the only moment when dreams can be converted into reality." But most people live in the past or future, never in the present moment where creation actually occurs. That night, Tesla didn't just discover wireless energy transmission, he discovered the formula for transmitting thoughts into reality. And this formula became the foundation for every breakthrough invention, every business empire, and every extraordinary achievement that followed. The formula from imagination to manifestation. Tesla's discovery led to what Napoleon Hill would later codify as the dream to reality success formula, a precise, systematic process for converting mental images into physical results. This formula operates on the principle that reality is simply imagination that has been subjected to the right conditions for materialization. The formula consists of 4 distinct phases, each operating on a specific frequency that most people never learn to access. Phase 1, the vision frequency. Phase 2, the belief frequency. Phase 3, the action frequency. Phase 4, the manifestation frequency. Here's the crucial understanding. Most people try to jump directly from dreaming to achieving, skipping the intermediate frequency. But the dream to reality formula requires that you tune into each frequency in sequence, spending enough time at each level to build the mental and emotional power necessary for the next phase. Phase 1, the vision frequency. Seeing what doesn't exist yet. Most people think vision is just imagination, but Tesla discovered that true vision operates on a specific frequency where the mind can actually perceive possibilities that haven't yet materialized in physical form. Walt Disney operated on this frequency when he first envisioned Disneyland. Disney didn't just imagine a theme park, he tuned into a frequency where he could see, hear, feel, and experience Disneyland as if it already existed. Disney would spend hours walking through empty orange groves in Anaheim, describing to his companions exactly what he was seeing. Over there is the entrance to Fantasyland. Can you see the castle? Do you hear the music? Can you feel the excitement of the families walking? Disney's companions thought he had lost his mind. They saw empty fields. Disney saw a living, breathing entertainment empire. The difference was that Disney had tuned his mind to the vision frequency, a state where future realities become as vivid as present circumstance. The vision frequency protocol. To access the vision frequency, you must train your mind to see your desired outcome with the same clarity that you see your current circumstances. This requires what Tesla called present moment visualization. Instead of thinking about your dreams as something that might happen in the future, you visualize them as something that is already happening in a parallel present moment. You see every detail, feel every emotion, and experience every sensation as if your dream is occurring right now in an alternate reality that you're tuning into. Disney would say, "I'm not imagining Disneyland, I'm visiting Disneyland. I'm not dreaming about success, I'm experiencing success." The only difference is that this reality hasn't yet synchronized with the physical world. Phase 2, the belief frequency, making the impossible feel inevitable. The vision frequency shows you what's possible. The belief frequency makes it feel inevitable. Henry Ford mastered the belief frequency when he announced his intention to mass-produce automobiles. Every expert in America told Ford it was impossible. The technology didn't exist. The economics didn't work. The market wasn't ready. But Ford had tuned into the belief frequency, a mental state where the successful completion of your vision feels as certain as gravity or the rising of the sun. Ford didn't hope he would succeed with mass production. He knew he would succeed. He didn't think it might be possible. He experienced it as inevitable. This wasn't blind optimism or wishful thinking. This was a systematic training of his belief system to operate from certainty rather than uncertainty. The belief frequency characteristics. When you're properly tuned to the belief frequency, several things happen. Doubt becomes impossible. Your mind can't hold both absolute belief and uncertainty at the same time. Evidence becomes unnecessary. You don't need proof because your internal certainty is stronger than external circumstances. Obstacles become irrelevant. Problems are seen as temporary inconveniences rather than permanent barriers. Timeline becomes flexible. You know it will happen, so you're not anxious about when it will happen. Ford would tell his engineers, "I don't need you to believe it's possible. I need you to engineer what I already know is inevitable." The belief frequency training. Tesla discovered that belief is not something you either have or don't have. Belief is a frequency you can tune into through systematic mental training. Morning belief calibration. Spend the first 10 minutes of every day tuning your mind to the frequency of absolute certainty about your major goal. Don't think about how it will happen. Don't worry about when it will happen. Simply tune in to the frequency where its successful completion feels as certain as your own existence. Evidence collection. Throughout the day, actively look for evidence that your dream is becoming reality. Not proof, evidence. Small signs, synchronicities, opportunities that align with your vision. Evening belief reinforcement. Before sleep, review all the evidence you collected during the day. Feel the momentum building. Experience the inevitability growing stronger. Phase 3, the action frequency. Moving at the speed of certainty. The action frequency is where most people fail because they try to take action from doubt rather than from certainty. Tesla discovered that actions taken from the wrong frequency actually slow down manifestation rather than accelerating it. Thomas Edison exemplified the action frequency when he was working on the incandescent light bulb. Edison wasn't taking desperate action hoping something would work. He was taking systematic action knowing that success was inevitable. Edison's actions weren't driven by urgency, they were driven by certainty. He didn't work frantically because he was worried about failure. He worked methodically because he knew that every action was bringing him closer to the predetermined success. Action frequency characteristics. Actions feel effortless. When you're operating from certainty, action doesn't require willpower. Persistence is automatic. You don't have to force yourself to continue because stopping would feel impossible. Inspiration is constant. Ideas and insights flow naturally because you're aligned with the outcome. Timing is perfect. You know when to act and when to wait because you're tuned into the rhythm of manifestation. The frequency method. Most people take action to try to make something happen. Action frequency practitioners take action to allow something to happen that's already in motion. Daily action alignment. Every morning before taking any action, ask yourself, what actions would someone who already has what I want be taking today? Then take those actions, not from desperation, but from the identity of someone who already has what you want. Inspired action versus forced action. Learn to distinguish between inspired action and forced action. Inspired action accelerates manifestation. Forced action actually slows it down. Action momentum. Each action taken from the action frequency builds momentum for the next action. Edison's daily experiments weren't isolated attempts. They were part of a momentum that was building toward inevitable success. Phase 4, the manifestation frequency, where dreams become physical reality. The manifestation frequency is where the invisible becomes visible, where the imagined becomes tangible, where dreams cross over into physical reality. Andrew Carnegie mastered the manifestation frequency when he built his steel empire. Carnegie understood that manifestation isn't something you do. Manifestation is something that happens when you maintain the right frequency long enough. Carnegie would say, "I didn't build my steel empire through effort. I built it through alignment." When my vision, belief, and action were all tuned to the same frequency, the steel empire built itself. Manifestation frequency indicators. You know you're operating on the manifestation frequency when synchronicities increase, the right people, opportunities, and resources begin appearing coincidentally, resistance decreases, Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin dissolving naturally. Support multiplies. Other people begin offering help and resources without being asked. Timing aligns. Everything begins happening at exactly the right moment. Effortless progress. Movement toward your goal feels natural and flowing rather than forced. The manifestation frequency protocol. The manifestation frequency requires what Tesla called detached engagement. You remain completely committed to your vision while being completely unattached to how or when it manifests. Trust the process. Stop trying to control the manifestation process and start trusting it. Your job is to maintain the frequency. The universe's job is to handle the logistics. Receive rather than chase. Instead of chasing your dreams, create the conditions for your dreams to chase you. When you're operating on the manifestation frequency, opportunities begin seeking you out. Celebrate progression. Acknowledge and celebrate every sign of progress, no matter how small. This keeps you tuned to the frequency of success rather than the frequency of impatience. The Disney Protocol, building kingdoms from dreams. Walt Disney's creation of the Disney Empire represents perhaps the most complete application of the dream-to-reality formula in modern history. Disney didn't just build a business. He created an entire universe of imagination that generates billions of dollars and influences millions of lives. But Disney's success wasn't accidental. He systematically applied the dream-to-reality formula in a way that can be studied and replicated. Disney's vision frequency mastery. Disney could visualize animated characters so clearly that he could predict how they would move, what they would say, and how audiences would respond, all before a single frame was drawn. Disney would spend hours watching movies that didn't exist yet. He would laugh at jokes that hadn't been written. He would feel emotions from stories that were still just ideas. Disney's belief frequency training. When Disney announced his plan to create full-length animated films, every expert in Hollywood told him it was commercial suicide. Audiences wouldn't sit through an hour-long cartoon. The technology didn't exist. The economics were impossible. Disney's response. I'm not trying to prove it's possible. I'm just doing what I know is inevitable. Disney's action frequency implementation. Disney took action from the identity of someone who was already the world's greatest storyteller. He didn't hope to become successful. He acted from the certainty that he already was successful and was just allowing the world to catch up to that reality. Disney's manifestation frequency results. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs became the highest-grossing film of its time. Disneyland revolutionized family entertainment. Disney created a storytelling empire that continues to grow decades after his death. The Ford method, impossible manufacturing made real. Henry Ford's transformation of the automobile from luxury item to mass-produced necessity demonstrates the power of the dream-to-reality formula when applied to industrial innovation. Ford's application of the formula was so systematic that it can be broken down into specific steps. Ford's vision frequency achievement. Ford could visualize the entire mass production process before any of the technology existed. He saw assembly lines, interchangeable parts, and coordinated manufacturing systems as clearly as if they were already operating. Ford would walk through empty factories and describe to his engineers exactly what he was seeing. Here's where the chassis comes together, where the engine gets installed. Can you see the workers moving in perfect coordination? Ford's belief frequency conditioning. When experts told Ford that mass production was impossible, Ford didn't argue with them. He ignored them. He had tuned his belief system to a frequency where mass production wasn't just possible, it was inevitable. Ford would say, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. I think I can, so I'm right. Ford's action frequency execution. Ford took action from the certainty that mass production already existed. He was just building the physical systems to match the vision he could already see. Every problem was approached from the assumption that a solution not only existed but was already known. They just had to discover it. Ford's manifestation frequency success. The Model T became the first mass-produced automobile. Ford's assembly line revolutionized manufacturing. Ford's methods were adopted by industries worldwide. The Edison persistence. Invention as applied formula. Thomas Edison's approach to invention was actually the systematic application of the dream-to-reality formula to technological innovation. Edison didn't just experiment randomly, he followed a precise protocol. Edison's vision frequency focus. Edison could see his inventions working perfectly in his mind before he built the first prototype. He would spend hours visualizing the phonograph playing music, the light bulb illuminating a room, the motion picture telling a story. Edison's belief frequency foundation. Edison's famous quote about genius being 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration reveals his understanding of the belief frequency. He believed that success was inevitable if you applied the right process with sufficient persistence. Edison never saw his failures as failures. He saw them as successful elimination of approaches that wouldn't work. Edison's action frequency application. Edison took action from the certainty that every invention was possible. The question wasn't whether it could be done, but how it should be done. His laboratory was organized around systematic experimentation designed to discover the inevitable solution. Edison's manifestation frequency results: over 1,000 patents, multiple industry-transforming inventions, one of the greatest fortunes of his era. The Carnegie Mastery, Steel Empire from Mental Blueprint. Andrew Carnegie's creation of the largest steel empire in American history demonstrates how the dream-to-reality formula can be applied to building massive industrial fortune. Carnegie's vision frequency development. Carnegie could see the entire American industrial transformation before it happened. He visualized railroads spanning the continent, cities growing skyward, and steel becoming the foundation of American power. Carnegie's belief frequency strength. Carnegie believed so completely in America's industrial future that he was willing to bet everything on steel production at a time when most people couldn't imagine the demand that was coming. Carnegie's action frequency strategy. Carnegie didn't just produce steel, he created an integrated system that controlled every aspect of steel production from raw materials to finished product. Carnegie's manifestation frequency achievement. Carnegie Steel became the largest company in the world. Carnegie's fortune became one of the greatest in history. Carnegie's methods established the foundation for American industrial dominance. Your personal dream-to-reality transformation. Now let me give you the exact protocol for applying the dream-to-reality formula to your own goals and ambitions. Week 1 to Vision Frequency Training. Spend 20 minutes each morning and evening visualizing your major goal as if it's already accomplished. Don't think about it, experience it. Use all 5 senses to make the vision as real as possible. Week 3 for Belief Frequency Development. Begin training your mind to feel absolute certainty about your goal's eventual achievement. Collect evidence throughout each day that supports the inevitability of your success. Week 5 to 6 Action Frequency Implementation. Begin taking daily action from the identity of someone who has already achieved your goal. Ask yourself, what would someone who already has what I want be doing today? Week 78. Manifestation Frequency Integration. Maintain all 3 previous frequencies while practicing detached engagement. Trust the process. Celebrate progression. Receive opportunities rather than chasing them. The 90-Day Dream to Reality Protocol. Days 130. Frequency Establishment. Focus on consistently accessing each of the 4 frequencies. Build the neural pathways that will support sustained application of the formula. Days 31 to 60. Frequency Amplification. Increase the intensity and duration of your frequency work. Begin seeing evidence that the formula is working in your life. Days 61 to 90. Frequency Mastery. The formula becomes automatic. You naturally operate from vision, belief, action, and manifestation frequencies without conscious effort. The universal laws of dream-to-reality transformation. Tesla's research revealed that the dream-to-reality formula operates according to specific universal laws. Law 1, the law of vibrational alignment. Your vision, belief, and action must all operate on the same frequency. Mixed signals slow down manifestation. Law 2, the law of present moment creation. Dreams become reality in the present moment, not in the future. You must experience your goal as happening now, not as something that will happen later. Law 3, the law of certainty magnetism. Absolute certainty attracts the people, resources, and opportunities necessary for manifestation. Doubt repels them. Law 4, the law of inspired action. Actions taken from certainty are exponentially more powerful than actions taken from desperation or fear. Law 5, the law of natural timing. When you're properly aligned with the formula, everything happens at exactly the right time. Forcing the timing disrupts the process. Your reality transformation begins now, and now we come to the moment of choice. You've discovered the same dream-to-reality formula that Disney used to build his entertainment empire, that Ford used to revolutionize manufacturing, that Edison used to light up the world, and that Carnegie used to build his steel dynasty. The question isn't whether the formula works. History has proven that beyond any doubt. The question is, will you apply it? Most people will hear about the formula and think it sounds interesting. Some will try it for a few days and then abandon it when they don't see immediate result. A few will apply it consistently and systematically, and those few will achieve results that others call miraculous. Which group will you join? Remember, Disney didn't create Disneyland through luck. Ford didn't revolutionize manufacturing through accident. Edison didn't invent the light bulb through chance. They all used the same systematic formula for converting dreams into reality. That formula is now yours. The only question is, what dream will you transform into reality? Your formula activation starts now. If you're ready to apply the dream to reality formula, if you're ready to stop hoping and start knowing, if you're ready to transform your most ambitious dreams into inevitable realities, then take action immediately. Like this video if you're committed to learning the formula. Subscribe to this channel if you want ongoing guidance in applying it. Comment below and tell us, what dream are you ready to transform into reality using this formula. Share this message with someone who has a dream that seems impossible, because when you help others discover the formula, you strengthen your own ability to apply it. Remember, every reality was once just a dream. Every achievement was once just a vision. Every empire was once just an idea. The difference between dreams that stay dreams and dreams that become reality is the application of this formula. Your dreams are waiting to become reality. The formula is in your hands. Your transformation begins with your next thought. Dream big, believe completely, act consistently, manifest inevitably. The frequency of your dreams is broadcasting now. Tune in and watch reality transform.